Chapter 4. This town makes me sick. Everywhere I go, I see another reminder of embarrassment. Has it ever worked? A geographical fix? I don't care. I just need one. St. Louis has got to be done with me, and I know I'm done with it. I've heard it before. Moving away from your problems never makes them better. But just as I did with that advice from way back about not making everyone like you, I reject it. We need to observe the LA terrain and opportunities to see if this is actually feasible. Jen has chosen to live a dangerous social life just like me. But although she's having fun, she nonetheless hopes we will grow out of it soon. She jumped into this boat with me a year and a half ago, probably because the stress of living with me was getting to her. My sense is that there's much more to Los Angeles than that. So to prove it, we fly out for a couple days with my best friend Tom and his girlfriend Megan. Tom is also my writing partner on the animated series. My 6'4" friend lives in Portland now with his girlfriend. Driving around Los Angeles in our rented cherry red Durango, we stick out more than if we were Bermuda shorts and fanny packs. In fact, Durango is actually a city in central Mexico founded by lame, wide-eyed tourists. That fact is a very appropriate theme for us now. LA is everything we expected. Gorgeous people, high fashion, hot climate, hot celebrities, and the sense of my big break is frothing over in the air. At least to me. Another longtime friend lives in LA now, Nick Ziles, a production director for commercials and music videos. This guy is making it happen for himself early in his entertainment career. Ziles is a close friend from high school. He was a year behind me and we played on the tennis team together. Our complex high school relationship caused me to beat up on him a little bit, the way an older brother might. In fact, we are sometimes asked if we are brothers. For appearance sake, think of Sean Penn with freckles. In our latest phone conversation, Ziles has assured me if I move to LA, he'll get me work as a production assistant on shoots. Sounds somewhat promising. For now, I'm grateful for his efforts. And to make sure they are genuine, I want to see him while I'm here to ask his advice on moving the show to Hollywood. Obviously, I need more concrete affirmation on possible employment. PAing is a $40,000 a year job, he says. $150 a day. He repeats this so much, I'm starting to not believe him. Being a production assistant would earn you $40,000 a year if you worked every day, and they don't. But $40,000 is more than I've made in a year to this point. Late bloomer for sure. Ziles seems extremely excited about the idea of our moving to LA. We can finally write together and make a name for ourselves. We talked about this many times in high school. His conviction is inspiring. Back home in early high school, we were the weird kids trying to come up with some new dance to erupt into at the local teen dance club to the latest Milli Vanilli hit. I vividly recall one little number that involved our facing each other, touching one foot in the air together, and hopping in a circle. Later that week, I almost crippled some girl on the dance floor at Club 747 as I stumbled during the spinning portion of our jig. Blame it on the rain must make her shin tingle to this day. After the incident, I crept off and bought a quick Sprite on the rocks, acting like I was never even on the dance floor. Right away, Jen and I noticed that the hotels are different in Los Angeles. They are places to hang out, even if you're not staying in a room. Before now, somehow we didn't know this. After walking past a bar with a mechanical bull in it, we duck into the Standard Hotel on Sunset. The furniture and walls are all white, and a girl is actually modeling in a plastic box behind the reception counter. Loud, apathetic, weird club music fills the seating area. Jen and I grab a drink and hope to blend in. Our travel mates rest in their room. I have another childhood friend from St. Louis who travels for business. He's also in LA this week. Jack greets us with his usual sunburned face and tongs of airborne red hair. Immediately, we recognize various MTV Road Rules and Real World cast members walking around. Jack whispers, "There's a dude from Saturday Night Live." I look and say, yeah, it's Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider and a friend have entered the bar about 15 feet away. A tinge of weirdness hits my stomach. Almost immediately, Jack says, hey, let's say hi. Not me, bro. Oh, I love him, says Jen. He's the you can put your weed in it guy from Saturday Night Live. I'll do it. The Robinator happens to be working his way in our direction. But beware, honey, you never know how these guys are gonna react, I tell her. Jen gives me a dismissive look, then goes for it, taking a step closer to Rob Schneider. Hi, Rob. Hey there. How are you guys? Rob says, like he's known us for years. We're great. Jen has become our spokesperson. What are you drinking? We're gonna grab one, says Rob Schneider. My wife says, Jack and Diet Coke. Cool. Schneider leaves for the bar. We kind of giggle. Pretty cool guy. Dude, think about it. He's buying your wife a drink, Jack says. I say, he's harmless. Rob trots back up to us with Jen's cocktail, and he has a request. Hey, we're sitting right here. Will you grab a seat with us? A seat. One person. My wife. It's right behind where we're already sitting. Jen looks at me and says, sure. As my wife sits down, I realize she's having a drink with Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. Yeah, Jen is Deuce's next trick, says Jack. I say, wait till he finds out she's married. You think he cares? No, he seems like a good dude. He'll care, I say. Sitting there, my crazy mind starts to fly. Could it be that I am in the strangest of all real-life scenes from the movie Indecent Proposal? Instead of Robert Redford, little Rob Schneider is going to make us an offer of infidelity. I've only been in LA a few hours. I'm actually living in an SNL skit. After Jen finishes her drink, she comes back to sit at our table. That was very cool. He's a nice guy. No flirting or hitting on you? I didn't say that, but he's not as goofy as he is on the screen. Okay. Our unbelievable reconnaissance mission to Los Angeles continues the next day when our Portland friends, Jen and I, sit down for lunch at an Italian cafe on Rodeo Drive. Dining on this famed street provides a good jolt of excitement for us Midwesterners, and soon Tom and I begin rapid foot tapping under the table when we overhear the twosome at the table to our left talking about the movie one of them has just finished. A younger, dark, red-haired man boasts to an older, heavier, business-looking man. Kevin will be recognized for his performance. I think it's such an awakening from living death to alive in this picture. Tom and I lean in just a little bit. Oh, I think all of them will be recognized, the older man adds. Tom and I then trade looks of haughtiness as we take in more of their conversation about the director. Our girls know something's up with us, but being included in a conversation like this means nothing to them. We fill them in as we exit the little restaurant. A year and a half later, I see that same dark red-haired guy on TV standing in a group accepting the Academy Award for Best Picture for the movie American Beauty. Kevin Spacey was recognized for his performance with the Best Actor Oscar. And then, of course, he was canceled years later for groping someone. Now we stroll on Rodeo, marveling at the huge prices in the antiseptic-looking stores. Our obvious tourist vibe causes us to be approached by a dude on a skateboard carrying flyers, offering us to, quote, sit in the audience for a live late show that's being nationally broadcast on a major network. Being curious, we relent. Eventually, we're waiting in a long line outside of a studio. Leno must be a real stickler. We find ourselves going through extremely rigorous audience evaluation. They also separate us from Tom and Megan, which makes this start to feel more like work than fun. After being security wanded and scolded about the necessity for appropriate clapping, I realize we are at the CBS studios in Studio City. The four of us are deflated to realize we have run this gauntlet for the Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn. Yeah, that far back. They seat Jen and me in the front row, 10 feet from Kilborn. I am so stressed about clapping at the wrong time that a nervous wheezing laugh has come to the surface. In this process, we learn that they record the show in its entirety, never really taking edits. During the first commercial break, Kilborn looks down at his desk. "Derek, I need more from these people." Stiffly, I lean into my wife. What a dick. The crowd is about a tenth of the size you see on Leno. It's hard to believe how distant and unfunny Kilborn is. Suddenly, his coldness trips a feeling of being disapproved of. Screw this. Now I'm refusing to applaud, and I've taken to showing forced, serious faces in a sea of canned laughter and glee. Kilborn is trying to deliver some lame bit where he claims he can define any word in the dictionary. He tells the crowd that we should just yell out a word and he'll give the Webster's definition. 2 hours earlier, in our cavity-searching audience briefing, the self-important crowd manager alerted us to this unfunny bit. He said that we should not yell anything out, but that assistant producers are in the crowd to yell out the words. "Mollify!" a tired-looking 20-ish blonde girl yells. Kilborn gives the memorized answer. I guess this is supposed to be unique and funny. Maybe quirky? Without waiting for him to finish his next definition, I yell out the only thing I can think of that doesn't really have a definition. "Mock, mock!" Kilborn swallows a bit, wondering what the hell I'm yelling out of the front row. The crowd manager gives the throat-slashing motion to me. And after plenty of awkwardness, the 6'6" TV host opens his mouth. Did he say Marky Mark? What? They cut to break. Mission accomplished. Kilburn, I hope you feel you got more from these people now. A bit later, we head back to Zyle's apartment to get ready to watch the Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn and see if I made it on national TV. At least to see if my mock did. And there it was. I helped Craig Kilborn produce the only funny moment across his show that night. Then Zyles begins to give me advice on moving out to LA. "You will not want to have regrets, man. When you get here, you gotta hustle." Hustle? Obviously. In fact, I have a card with that written on it from my old tennis days. Hustle, bend your knees, swing through. But Zyles is not talking about laziness. He says I need to inflate my experience to earn auditions and jobs and to worry about getting the right experience only after I actually get the job I'm supposed to have experience for in the first place. Oh. Then the freakiest night ever of unexpected hallucinogenic mushrooms ensues. It has come to be known as the Funhouse Mushroom Night. Over my time of trying these things, many times nothing ever happens. Still skeptical, but caught up in the excitement, we eat the crazy fungus, then sit down waiting for them to take effect. I've been here before. The downtime is awkward. As I lie on the bed waiting, a potted plant in the corner begins to bark and take the shape of a chia pet. But this only happens out of my peripheral vision. When I turn and look at it, the dog goes back to the plant shape with no noises. The barking tree is seriously freaking me out. The funhouse is on. All we hear out of the next room is our girls giggling rapidly. Soon I find myself digging through Zyle's dirty laundry like a rat. As if we have no option, we try to hide in the big pile of clothes. I become convinced that JFK-looking Tom would be an Oscar-winning actor if only he'd go for it. This strikes me after Tom starts rapping about getting shot. I turn into Stella Adler coaching Marlon Brando. Mushrooms make you leave yourself, taking everything in so intensely yet pleasurably. In fact, later, near the year 2020, mushrooms like this are being tested and used by places like Johns Hopkins in their Center for Psychedelic and Consciousness Research to help people. At daylight, we walk to our hotel. Unfortunately, we giggle till checkout time, getting no sleep. The harder the four of us try to sleep, the more snickering we do. When will this wear off? We are totally wiped out. Sandman cometh! A giggling mouth with Worried eyes creates the weirdest of disturbing images.